The Fairway Report is sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
This week, the PGA Championship returns to Quail Hollow Club for the second time in a decade.
The 64-year-old Charlotte course has seen a lot of golf history over the years, but in the last few decades, it has soared to new heights.
News 13's Justin Berger is there live this evening. He spoke with one of the men responsible for the club's renaissance.
Yeah, good afternoon from Charlotte, Tammy and Holly. If you ask the brass here, this was all according to plan decades ago when club president Johnny Harris decided he wanted to bring the world's best golfers back to Quail Hollow on a regular basis. This week, tens of thousands of fans will descend upon this course, and they can thank Harris for calling Tom Fazio.
So he calls me probably in 96, 7 and said, Tom, we're going to have a golf tournament. And we're bringing the PGA Tour back to Charlotte. I want you to come down here and tell us what to do with our golf course. What should we be doing?
Tom Fazio.
That's, of course, when I was younger.
Started in the golf course design game with his uncle, George, just a few years ago.
I go by decades, so I don't like to talk about years because it sounds like too many of them. People think you're old.
Around the time Fazio was getting his start in the game, so was Quail Hollow. Within a decade of opening, the club was hosting a PGA Tour event, the Kemper Open. That lasted until 1979. Nearly 20 years later, Johnny Harris called Fazio.
But one of the most important things at Quail, when we started the process with the major long-range plan, was how do you operate a golf event here? How do you move people? How do you have the venue to put gallery and corporate sponsorship tents? That was all taken into account. So it was about how do we make it the best it could be. And it didn't matter whether we had to move greens or tees or adjust fairways. It was about looking at the total plan and looking at the new future of golf.
Quail Hollow added a regular season PGA Tour event in 2003. In the nearly 30 years since Fazio's course reconstruction, the club has hosted more than 20 professional tournaments, including the 2017 PGA Championship, the 2022 President's Cup, and this year's PGA Championship. Does it stop being cool that your course is going to host a major championship?
Never.
Fazio is on property early this week, still doing his homework at 80 years old, watching how the gallery moves, always on the lookout for a new addition should one be needed.
This could be a textbook for golf and for evolution of how a club could go from one point to the next. And now we have the best players in the world showing up to be tested again at Quail Hollow.
Now, Fazio has designed more than 200 courses across the world, including 18 here in the Tar Heel State. He and his wife, Sue, founded the Henderson County Boys and Girls Club more than 30 years ago and have long time been a part of Western North Carolina's DNA. Back to you.